Hello, and welcome back to yet another canal adventure. We've managed to pick up some essential items from Tesco during our 2 hour maximum stay here on the moorings. Essentials like a couple of Christmas chocolate selection tubs, in case you're wondering, celebrations and roses, that were on special offer, and more importantly, some beer. Hop back into the world deck for this journey, sit back, relax. Leave the Christmas chocolates alone, but do grab a beer and enjoy the journey. Now we're ready to continue our journey to find a suitable mooring place so that we can go and retrieve the car from the car park near Old Linslade Manor that we passed in the previous vlog. You know, the one all the way back by Bridge 110. Leighton Buzzard had quite a few canal-side wharves, which have now mostly been replaced by housing. The first is here on the right. Breddel and Young's Wharf was in business by 1819 and lay on the west bank of the canal behind number 24 Leighton Road and opposite the current Tesco supermarket and car park. The wharf ended in a narrow basin at right angles, more or less opposite where the supermarket now stands. Immediately north of the wharf were lime kilns. The wharf later came to be known as Wicello's Wharf after Stephen Henry Wicello and Son, local coal merchants. As we approach Bridge 114, you'll notice that this is a bit of a strange bridge. You'll see the bridge number plaque on the right hand side as we pass under it. It's been altered and rebuilt a few times. The final time was in 1969 when the road was widened. The concrete slabs used to support the roadway of the new bridge are actually supported on a much older brick bridge's buttresses.
On the right, just past the bridge, would have been another wharf, now replaced by these flats and a retail unit underneath. That would have been a great place to have a chandlery. On the left, the towpath goes over a bridge that spanned the entrance to yet another wharf. This was the wharf of Grant and Lawson, later known as Branton's Wharf. It probably dates back to the 1800s and the opening of the canal. The wharf had a basin which in 1974 was infilled to become a car park, although the humpback bridge, called the Towpath Bridge, was preserved through the efforts of Leighton Buzzard Preservation Society.
The Canal and River Trust sign on the left announces that these are visitor moorings. Charity Wharf also lay south of Leighton Road, but on the west bank. It was so called because it originally formed part of the Wilkes Charity Estate. It became a wharf in the late 19th century. The site was extensively redeveloped in 2008. The development's name? Go on, take a guess. That's right, The Wharf. 3 smaller wharves, called railway wharves, lay south of the point of which the Leighton to Dunstable Railway crossed the canal. They lay on the east bank opposite the modern Tiddenfoot Waterside Park and were used for loading sand and gravel quarried in the Grovebury and Billington Road areas, and each was served by a narrow gauge railway. You can still see the remnants of these wharves. The towpath raises slightly at each, as we continue our journey southwards along the Grand Union Canal.
Don't look to the right. No, seriously, don't look. You'll just get garden mooring envy again.
Hold on, what's that on the bridge?
No, it can't be.
It looks like it is.
Oh my God, it is!
It's a bomb!
Yes, it was one of the canal bomb artworks by Helen from the YouTube channel Buying a Narrowboat. How brilliant is that? We'd seen the vlog where this one had been put up in August 2018 and we'd expected the art bombs to have all been claimed by now.
We backed up. And took a photograph. Then, very carefully, Paul removed the bomb from the bridge, and that is how we possibly became the first narrowboat vloggers to lay claim to an original Helen Canal Bomb artwork. Thank you, Helen.
We were so excited about finding the art bomb that we completely forgot about checking the camera at the front of the boat, and eventually it stopped recording.
We cruise on through Grove Lock and then Church Lock, trying to find somewhere suitable to moor up. All the sensible mooring spots are already taken. Of course they are. Just look at the time. After what felt like an eternity, we eventually did find somewhere, just below Slapton Lock. It was rapidly approaching 5 p.m. and we were over 5 miles away from the car. At walking pace, that was over 2.5 hours walk. We were trying to work out what we could do. A quick Google search later and we were off on foot, walking to Cheddington railway station. We took the train to Leighton Buzzard and then hired a cab to take us on to St Mary's Church, which was a very short walk from the car park.
We drove back to the boat. It was only 6:30 by this point, and we started to cart items between the boat and the car. The heavens opened. It'll stop soon.
Whilst creating this vlog, we sadly discovered that Sam Dodge had passed away in December 2019.